welcome. I'm Hannah and I'll be your guide today. We are going to work through a wonderfully smooth, gentle practice. And we're going to really work on that Ujjii breath being our guide for our movement today. So nothing too technically hard with our body. Hopefully all just sort of feel good, kind of swaying, move with breath type practice today. I've gone ahead and sat onto my bolster. You might like to sit yourself up onto a cushion or just get yourself comfortable sat on the floor. And let's come to just cultivate an awareness of that breath as well. So if you haven't already checked out, there is another video just purely on Ujjii breathing. So you might want to check that out before you head into this practice, but I'll give you just a very brief tuition to set yourself into Ujjii breathing. Ujjii breathing is sometimes referred to as victorious breath or oceanic breathing. Let's see if we can tune into the sound of our breath as though it reminds us of the sea, gently lapping up and down the seashore. Ujjii breathing is a little technique where we just slightly restrain the back of the throat. So could you start to breathe in and out through the nose like you're sighing gently? Allowing your breath to be your own guide of movement. Gently bring thumbs to heart. Continue your Ujjii. Next time that you inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. You might take just a mini heart opener. And then gently lengthening the spine as you bring the thumbs down to heart, led by your exhale. Do that again at least 3 more times. Join me for one more round. Reach the fingers up again and then lean over towards your right side. Maybe find the earth with those fingertips or palm and then reach over as you exhale. Let's sweep both arms up as you inhale. Exhaling the other side. Slow movement, slow breaths. And we continue this for a few rounds. Inhaling always to rise, exhale to sway to the side. You might choose to turn the head or keep it very centered. Maybe you notice that the breath can actually be quite steady and slow. Maybe you can notice that sometimes the breath gets a little caught and you just reset again when you can. Don't think that your breath has to be particularly loud, but we just want the breath to be loud enough that we ourselves can hear it. One more time to the left side. And then back up. And lower the thumbs to heart, exhale. Now you could do this staying on your bolster or your pillows. I'm just going to move mine out of the way and come flat on the ground. Lengthen your right leg out to the side. Keep the left leg tucked in. If you need a little support under the bent knee, you might choose to do that or not. And I'm going to keep the foot a little bit flexed, but it doesn't have to be perfectly strong and straight. You might have something underneath the sit bones if you need a little extra space in the back of that straight leg. So again, we're going to take a little side sway. Let's bring hands up, inhale. And right hand down. And I'm going to take a swirl forwards. So I'm going to swirl all the way forwards, exhale, and then sway over to your right side. Bring your way back up, inhale, exhale to lower, and then a big circle or semicircle. Inhale, pause, maybe exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale towards the straight leg, and then lower as you swirl semicircle. Pause for an inhale. Maybe dip a little lower. Exhale. Inhale, rise. You're kind of getting the gist. Exhale and swirl. Semicircle. Just pausing as you inhale to your left side, exhale, maybe dip a little lower, and then inhale to rise, exhale. Maybe you can continue now, inhale, rise, exhale, swirl, semicircle. Inhale, if this is too fast, feel free to go back to rhythm that works for you. I'm going to go for one more round. And then come to pause, leaning over towards your left side. If you feel like you can, you're going to come onto that bent leg shin. So that's to your left shin. I'm going to bring the hand a little bit back behind me, so to the back edge of the mat, and then rock your weight forwards. Keep the straight leg ankle flexed, and then start to expand through the side waist again. I'm going to dip the hips down and swirl the hand forwards. Exhale. Inhale to lift, little gentle squeeze of the glutes. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Let's go for one more. Inhale, pause. Breathe. Perhaps you'd like to take hold of the back of your head, bend through the top elbow. Maybe as you inhale, lift the heart, and then soften to lower. Let's just take a little seated twist. So we're not going to keep moving through this. We're going to hold this pose. Turn towards your bent knee. Right hand takes the knee. Left hand supports you behind you. Inhale, find length, and then exhale, hold in your seated twist. So perhaps at this point, when we come to stillness, you have forgotten about your Ujjii. Let's see if we can gently integrate that oceanic breath once again. And perhaps you notice that you create a little more space in your body as you breathe. You might notice parts of resistance as you breathe in, and then maybe you notice softening or a little more space that you can shuffle or sway into as you exhale. And we're not forcing, we're just being curious if that changes anything for us. And then soften, relax. So let's swap the legs over. Remember, you could have something underneath the bent knee if you want to. Just going the opposite way if you need to, something underneath the hips for a little support. So we're heading towards that straight leg. Just going to move my block out the way. Reach the right arm up, inhale. And then you're swirling like a semicircle, both arms. And then just pause on the inhale. And then maybe sink a little as you exhale. Rise both arms up, inhale. Towards your straight leg, exhale, and then dip that right shoulder down, forwards, follow through to that semicircle. Pause for the inhale, and then maybe sigh a little deeper as you exhale. Ujjayi breath being your guide. Inhale to pause. Exhale maybe to dip down a little further. Hands rise up. Once you start to get into a bit of a rhythm, if it feels okay, you might even close the eyes as you start to figure out your own flow. And don't overthink the shape or the movement that you're creating here, that it has to be identical to me. Just offering some nice suggestions here, connecting to breath. The next time that I head through this little mini sequence, I'm going to continue with my breath instead of pause. So I'm going to exhale all the way around and then inhale to lift up. If you're finding that's too intense, just come back to that first variation. Leading my way up as I inhale. Getting some nice spinal energy, flexion. I'm going to go for one more round. And then come through to center, hands to heart. And then your right hand's going to lean off towards the back edge of the mat behind you. And you're going to try to rock the weight in towards your bent knee and that shin, so your right shin. So from here, I'm going to bring the left arm out to the side and then reach it forwards, the big semicircle swirl, and then lower. So if you find that you want to pause somewhere, you can do that. You don't have to keep moving, but I'm just going to start to lift the hips, a little gentle squeeze, and then lower. You might notice that working with an Ujjayi breath builds a little bit of heat, and that's quite often the way. It's sometimes even referred to as fiery breath, all these different names. But it does build a little bit of that internal fire, helps with our detoxification of the internal organs. All right, I'm going to go for one more round, and then I'll pause with the hips lifted on this one. And then I'm going to take hold of the back of the head and take a moment to see if I can peel the heart open a little bit more. Last breath. And then gently soften the hips. Let's go for an upright twist. Left hand takes the knee, right hand behind you, sit tall, inhale. And seated twist, exhale. Connect to your Ujjayi. Feel a sense of length, fullness, and grounding. And soften to face the front. You might want to end seated, cross-legged. Perhaps, maybe you'd like to come through to child's pose, or maybe even lay on your back. I'm going to pause here for 1 minute. Perhaps you'd like to join me.
At this point of your practice, the Ujjii sensation might still be there as a tool to bring you into a sense of now. But if you're using that breath, do so gently and quietly now. Slowly reawakening the body. If you would like to stay longer, feel free to pause the video. I'm just coming up to kneeling, bringing one hand into heart, the other on top, and just taking a moment to breathe into that space. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed blissfully flowing with your breath today with me. Have a beautiful day.